Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we thought everything was over. We got the guilty verdict passed down and everything. And then, who else to save the day other than Larry Butts? Okay, yeah, we are cross-examination, so we did hear this testimony in the last episode. But what were you doing that night? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There were so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. Well, okay, first of all, what time was it?
Oh, it was after 11 when I went out on the boat. At that time, everyone had gone home for the night, so I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak.
And why were you on a boat at such a late hour? Looking for something?
Yeah.
Mr. Butts, what is it you were looking for?
What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy.
That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense.
This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with.
Around what time was that?
Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. I guess it was around 12? Yeah.
You're not sure?
Hey, don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay?
People use watches these days, Larry. And a sundial wouldn't work at night anyway, Larry.
And just when I was thinking about going home,
Oh, wait, yeah, that's part of the testimony. We don't need to read that again. Where did the sound come from?
Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know.
Did you look at the lake?
Yeah, I looked.
Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order, order. Well, Mr. Butts?
Whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not.
Oh, okay, no problem. That's just the most important part of this case. So after you heard that single gunshot, you went home. So you only heard one bang, correct?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions.
Sorry, I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister.
Well, so, you went out in a boat, sure. It was about 11, you said. You were looking for something, so you quietly slipped the boat back in the rental shop at around 12, you said. And just as you were walking home, you heard a bang. I looked over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Second photo. Can we present the second empty photo? Okay, no we cannot. Ow. You didn't see a boat, so after that you heard a single gunshot and went home, so... Present. We know for a fact that a single gunshot was not right. Oh, wait, Your Honor, what do you think about this witness statement? Okay. Ooh. But you didn't see a boat. Well, there was, I'm sure nothing about DL6 helps. Oh, wait, he heard two gunshots. He heard one gunshot, while Miss Lotta Hart heard two gunshots. Bingo. Well, wait a sec, Larry.
What?
You only heard one bang? You're sure?
And that's what I said.
But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard two bangs. And that old man just now said the same thing. They both heard two gunshots that night.
Huh?
Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said?
Yo, Nick, please.
Huh?
You know something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay?
Mr. Butts,
What?
you only heard one gunshot, are you sure?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure.
Eh? Not sure. How could you not be sure?
Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was out listening to something else.
Something else?
My radio, dude, with my headphones.
What? Order, order, and stop the booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones?
Yeah, so what? That's a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal?
Mr. Von Kammer, your opinion.
Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Yeah, why not? Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah.
Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost.
Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include the details like your radio.
Right, leave it to me.
I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. What Larry heard.
It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve, and that's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to the real booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it, too.
You were listening to your radio at a high volume.
Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country?
I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is.
Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than the drumbeat from the radio.
True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. What Larry heard. So, you turned on the radio.
Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve. Alone.
I shouldn't have said anything. Do you by any chance remember the name of the program you were listening to?
This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor.
Objection sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set to that night? Real booming loud?
Yeah, you know.
And you had your headphones on?
Yep.
I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on outside at all. Okay, but do you know how loud a gun is? Can you prove that? No, of course you can't.
Nah, I can't prove it. But I remember the moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back clear to me, you know?
What did she say?
Mr. Wright, please cease this pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what the DJ said to us?
Indeed, Mr. Von Kammer has a point. And I'll allow this question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care, because if we know what was said, we could go back and check the freaking radio, like the radio station schedules, find the transcript and find out when it was said, knowing exactly when Larry was there to know when he heard that gunshot. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should.
Why?
Well, how do you know if we don't ask him? Ask. Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot.
Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot.
That means we know for a fact it was before the stroke of midnight. You see? Are you sure?
Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice.
Maybe Von Kammer was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Wait. I want to bring up my court records. 12:50, 11:50. Aha! The picture with an empty lake was taken at 11:50, which means there was definitely a gunshot heard while there was no boat on the lake. There it is. Present. What? Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. What? No, it doesn't. There's clearly a contradiction there. Did I accidentally press on the wrong statement? No, that was the right one, I think. Yeah, just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Therefore, this picture shows that there was indeed an empty lake there. Yeah, fired 3 times. After once more, Lada's testimony helps. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct?
Huh? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy.
Is something the matter, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas when he heard the gunshot.
Indeed, and?
Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshots, it was still Christmas Eve.
That would seem to be the case, yes.
But that contradicts the 2 testimonies we heard so far, Your Honor. Both Miss Hart and Old Man said it was after midnight when they heard the shots. In other words, when they heard the gunshots, it was already Christmas. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor.
Order. What does this mean? The 2 prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious.
What?
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim that he heard the gunshot before midnight?
Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight.
Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight.
Ah ha! Now we show the picture. Suck it, Von Comma. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. This timestamp on this photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m.
Oh? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture.
Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It's why this photograph exists at all.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. The camera that set off to go in response to loud noises.
Aha!
Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. And that's why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard the gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve.
Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken?
Not at all, Your Honor. It is the fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots with 25 minutes passing between them.
Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. The camera was said to respond to loud noises. Yes? There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why the witness could have sneezed triggering the camera.
Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear.
Very well, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 p.m. was a gunshot? Please show the court evidence if you have any.
3 shots! This is my evidence.
The murder weapon?
Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When then was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight.
Order. order. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake.
Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why?
Uh-oh. I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? Ah!
What's wrong, Nick?
I have it! I have it! Huh? Remember the cases with the Steel Samurai?
Huh? Yeah, of course I remember.
The murderer in the case had the same idea as the murderer in that... The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case.
What do you mean?
Maya?
Yes?
If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it.
Right, I mean, is this safe?
Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say something that sounds fishy, okay?
Right, Nick.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case.
What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. So, you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer than Miles Edgeworth himself.
Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting.
Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant Edgeworth and the victim Robert Hammond were on that boat.
Blah.
There was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat.
I admit it. It's hard to imagine any other possibility.
Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
We have photographic evidence of the time of the
We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on that photo says 0015.
But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent.
Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain why there are 2 men on that boat, on the boat eye.
Edgeworth and the murderer! Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth.
What are you serious?
That was not the right voice, but it's close enough. Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place.
I'm not sure what to make of all of this.
It's ludicrous.
Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then.
The murderer's name? Right, it's... I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name.
You don't know?
Bah, again you waste my time.
I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
The caretaker of the boat shop? Well, where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then.
Why would he have to go all the way on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of the crime was not on a boat?
What? Well then, where did the murder take place?
Show the judge where the murder took place. So, it took place clearly here, at the boat shop. Around here, maybe.
Maybe, Mr. Wright. And does this maybe include the reason why the killer would choose that spot?
Yes, well, maybe because there is no good reason that the murderer thought we'd never expect it.
Maybe you should try again.
He wasn't surprised I goofed up. Okay, sorry. I didn't realize selecting the boats wasn't right. I'm selecting the actual house this time. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. Okay, so you guys saw I knew the right answer. It's just, I was like, okay, it doesn't matter if I would select the pier or the actual house, so. We all knew I had it right. The victim, not where he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing him.
Do you have proof the boat shop was the scene of the crime?
Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. Yep, there's the boat. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at that time. In other words, the gunshot was very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned the boat?
The boat shop.
Yes, we've done it.
Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning.
Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. But we'll do that in the next episode, where we probably finish up day 3? Yeah, day 3 trial. So until then, bye for now. Hello everybody, we're back, and it's time for us to bluff our way through this and pin this on a, I don't know, innocent, not innocent. We're pinning it on the freaking boat keeper. Because that's the only way we could get Edgeworth out. So if we have to sacrifice a man in a pink outfit, that's just what we gotta do. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. Lap. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got on the boat with Edgeworth and went on to the middle of the lake.
Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright?
The boat shop caretaker. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose.
Wait a minute.
Yes?
Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone?
Details.
Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations, the moment you lose. Tell us why that murderer had fired twice.
To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor.
Create a witness?
The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot will look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and fires again. Then, sploosh. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him.
I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other.
The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. And that's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop, then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Seems pretty solid if I do say so myself.
Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said.
Yes.
Well, why did you go to the lake that night?
What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he has something very important to discuss with me.
Something important?
I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor.
Bailiff, We are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet.
The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either.
What?
What should I do?
Find him quickly. We can't allow him to get away. Mr. Roncomer, your witness has disappeared.
A search warrant has already been issued.
It will go without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that police department utilizes all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well, court is adjourned.
Okay, did I say that in the last episode that's where it was ending? Turns out this is where it was ending. This episode's just gonna be like, what, 5-6 minutes longer? So, I am once more sorry for thinking that I had another 20 minutes to go. December 27th, 1:22 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Yay, Nick, you did it! Yeah, well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even when Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony, Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on the trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't you look so pained? I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try smiling just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's a little time left. I want to tell you to get off my chest, but... I can't make up my mind. What is it about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. To be continued. Well, we will indeed save our progress. So, until then, bye for now, and I'll see you all in the proper next episode.